Gabby's here already. Oh, how fun. Oh my gosh, it's like, let me get everybody pinned on the same screen.
Hi.
Hi. Oh my God. Hello. So good to see your face.
You too. I've been seeing your gorgeous face all day. Are we like in between sessions? What's happening right now?
Yes, people are coming in. Hello, everybody. Welcome back from lunch. We are happy to see you.
And good. We're recording. I hope everybody got fed and nourished. I know it was like my mind, my body, and my spirit have been nourished, but now I gotta like nourish my belly and all of that. Y'all got some food in you? Hi, Deirdre.
Hello, Deidre. Hello,
Where are you guys from? I see some new people coming in. And some people that have been joining us from the morning. Oh, nice to see you all back with us. Mm-hmm. Jamie.
Yeah, let's see. Cafecito time.
Yes, listen, but I have to say, what is that around your neck, girl? You know, I'm all about the bling. Tell me, get a little closer. I need to observe this activity. Give it to me. Oh, wow. Oh my goodness. What is that?
It is a necklace from Ray Hugh Designs. She dropped them off last night and was honoring. She was like, I want you to wear my stuff. And I was like, oh, dude, I love her jewelry. It's so beautiful. And so, yeah, both necklaces I had on today were from her. I couldn't pick, so I wore both.
Why not? Let's just do outfit changes all day. I mean, I did a little bit too. I was like, oh, I want to wear my evil eye.
Nice.
Yes. And you know, I want to definitely make sure to be respectful and stay on time. And I've been looking forward to this talk all freaking day with Gaby Guzman. You know, Gaby Guzman, when I saw what you were talking about, it just brought me all the way back to early Jupiter Circle days.
Oh, girl, we could talk about that.
We could definitely talk. In fact, I'm sure you will. I'm not going to spoil the surprise for anybody, because I'm sure they're going to want to hear it, you know, from you. And actually, you know what, Jamie, do you want to do the introduction or shall I?
You can do the introduction. You're doing so well today.
Well, thank you, darling. Thank you. And the thing is, it's like, I feel like it's just so personal to me. Gaby, you're like my soul sister. You're like, you know, the hada madrina of all the madrinas. And I just remember the very first days of comadres when we would get together for Christmas, all the women. And you remember when I brought my whole crystal box and we had a little divination thing. We've got a long history of bringing in the Bruja activities.
Absolutely.
And so to give you like the official. Okay, stop listening to me. It started giving me the Salem witch trials. So Gaby Guzman is a business coach, strategist and community builder. I mean, evidenced by Las Comadres, right? And she's committed to helping women become who they are so they can be free. Ah, yes. And today we're going to talk about how to bring your bruja to your business.
Yes, we are.
I'm going to get off camera and let y'all do your...
All right. Shall we begin? All right, let's get started. Oh my God, I just noticed Daniela's pronouns. She, her, that bitch. So it is very telling. Welcome, everybody. I'm so excited that you're all here. It is really, really special to me that the two women that were just with me in this space, Daniela and Jamie, are two of the women in my life that have most allowed me the space to embrace my bruja. As Daniela was saying, so when I first started my business, I'm talking summer of 2014, sitting in my kitchen table, Daniela would walk in and she would create a crystal grid before our meetings. And it was the first time in my life that I had seen anything like this. And it's so funny because I'm literally starting to create a podcast right now. And one of the episodes really starts to talk about that, about how I got introduced to this whole world. And Daniela was such a huge part of it. It was this feeling of being connected to something suddenly that felt very new, but at the same time was also ancient. Like, I'm seeing this for the first time, but like only in this lifetime, because in like previous lifetimes, like this is our jam. And also like Daniela and Jamie and I have hung out for many lifetimes. And so, yes, we did Sage and Tea and Oracle before visioning and creating for our clients every time. And it was so magical and amazing, but it really introduced me to this world. So today we're going to talk about how to bring your Bruja into your business, which really at the end of the day, today is going to be about wholeness and about accepting and embracing and loving all of who we are. And so I want to share my screen. I hope I can do that. Oh, can somebody let me do that, please? That's what today's going to be about. It's going to be about how we embrace all the parts of ourselves and how we embrace the parts of ourselves, even the ones that we have been led to believe are wrong and are bad. All right. So let me know. Okay, I think I'm good. I think I can share my screen now. All right, here we go. We are gonna be on Canva and this is gonna work. All right, everybody. So I'm really hoping that, okay, let me know if you can see it. I'm gonna be on the chat, chatting with you all. This is gonna be pretty interactive. So can everyone see my screen? Yes, beautiful, thank you, Deirdre. All right, okay, so this is what today is about. This is me with my altar in my home. And today we're gonna talk about how to bring your Bruja into your business. And we're gonna jump right in. So here's what we're gonna do today. So if you don't already have somewhere where you can write down just a few notes today, please go ahead and grab real quick, even if it's on your phone or a pen and paper, because we're gonna be doing some intuitive writing over the course of the next few minutes. And I really, really, as I said, really want today to be interactive. And Danny or Jamie, can you confirm until what time I can hang out here, just so I can plan this out? So let me know what time the session ends. But today is about beginning to honor all of you, all of who you are. Okay, fantastic. Thank you, Jamie. Got plenty of time. So this is the beginning about honoring all of you, for honoring all of you. And so we're going to do three big things. We're going to talk about the Bruja in you. She is in all of us. Welcome. We're going to talk about how we invite her into different parts of our lives that maybe we haven't in the past. And we're going to talk about how we honor her every single day. So that's what today is going to be about. I hope it's really interactive. I'm going to be looking at the chat the whole time, so I hope we get to be connecting through there. And so there may be people on this call that don't know me, so I want to just give you a little bit of an introduction. My name is Gaby Guzman, and as Danny said, I help women become who they are so they can be free. I think the conversation we're about to have today has so much to do with stepping into the fullness of who we are and our authenticity. And so I'm really excited to be having it, but because it is deeply aligned to my purpose. So for those of you who don't know, I'm a Dominicana, I'm a Libra, I'm an immigrant, I'm a mom, an activist, a Bruja, and a hostess. I'm also a business coach and strategist and community builder. I'm the original founder of Las Comadres. And when I started my business, as we were just talking about, I committed to my spiritual and my spiritual growth and my personal development. Like there was a moment where I knew, like, if I didn't get my spirit into a good, solid place as an entrepreneur, I wasn't going to make it. I was just probably going to be looking for another job very quickly. And so thankfully, I listened to my intuition. I listened to my inner Bruja in that moment. And really, my journey of learning how to run a business happened side by side with deepening into my spirituality, my intuition, my Bruja. Over the past 7 years, I've coached hundreds of women entrepreneurs on getting clear about their truest vision and defining a plan to make it real that also works for their lives. We work through one-on-one coaching, strategy sessions, masterminds, and online programs. And everything that I am involved in, we play through strategy, soul, and energy work. So we are ready to dive right in. And so I have a question for you. We have had a beautiful, amazingly magical day where we've had conversations about what it means, what Bruja means. We had Ilona kick us off this morning with some definitions of these words, but I would love for everybody to take just a deep breath as we open this circle together for the next few minutes. And I want you to think about if you are coming from your courage, from your intuition, from your authenticity, intuitively, what does Bruja mean to you? From your courage and from your authenticity, from your deep womanhood. And what are 3 words that come to mind? And I'd love to see you, when you get the clarity on that, put the words on the chat. So let's think about those words together. What are 3 words that come to mind when you are thinking about what Bruja means to you? Magic, power, results, yes. Healer, wisdom, and power. Ooh, power comes up again. Intuitive, powerful, community. Magic, power, and pure, beautiful, Veronica. Power, empathy, and light. Real, powerful, and kind. Power, strength, and courage. Holy moly, power is like the ultimate word here. Magic, sage, strength, power, wisdom, and magic. Deep intuition. Yes. Yes to these words. Like, do you feel the strength and the power in the words that you have just outlined? And look what a powerful reframing we just did today. Full intuition and bright. Ooh, Lindsay, I felt that. Yeah. It's really incredible, right? And what a gift that we have been able to reclaim our authenticity and our truth in this incredible way. Because when we really think about it, in the same vein, now that we've reclaimed it, let's just take a moment to acknowledge how far we've come in our understanding of that word, right? Just to share a little bit about my own story, I grew up in Dominican Republic, had my whole childhood and teenage years down there, and definitely grew up in a very close-minded society that only understood Catholicism as the only way to live and experience spirituality, only understood the framework that that religion builds for your life as a framework for how I was supposed to think about being a good person, how I was supposed to think about my morality, how I was supposed to think about what was good and bad, what was right and wrong, how I was supposed to act as a woman, how I was supposed to look, how I was supposed to partner up in life, what I was supposed to want. Like, it created this very specific and strict structure about who I was supposed to be, right? And so as I think about what being a bruja means to me, being a bruja is 100%, first of all, about being connected to divinity. And I love that divinity is this concept that means something different for each of us, and that means something very special for each of us, and it's not so tied down. But the divinity that I know lives within me, and the divinity that is all around me, my guides, my angels, my ancestors, all of it, like recognizing that I'm living a life in deep acknowledgement, gratitude, and connection to that. That is what being a bruja means to me. Being a bruja means to me also being connected to my intuition, to that truth. We saw intuition come up a lot in the words that you shared about what bruja means. So this wisdom that lives inside of you, we also saw the word wisdom a lot, right? This wisdom and this truth that lives inside of you, that if we're just still enough for long enough, we will know it. We will be able to recognize it. We will know it as our own, and we will be able to live it and act on it. And finally, a lot about being a bruja to me is about reclamation. It is about knowing that even as I was a little girl and I would hear all of these ideas about who I was supposed to be and what made a good person, and what I was supposed to believe and the rules that I was supposed to play with, like, even as a little girl, I knew that they were wrong. And I'm curious if any of you have had a similar experience. Like, have any of you, that you as a child, you knew that they were bullshitting you? Like, please let me know in the chat, because I felt like there was something really off, right? Like, I remember asking my mom why there were no female priests. Like, I remember, like, there's something iffy about this. There's like, right? Yes, thank you, Gabby. Like, I just knew there was something inside me, even as I was being taught all these other things. On the inside, I was like, wait a second, like, this is not how it is. This cannot be how it is. And one of the things that I was also like, I had the gift of being able to see is that even though in the outside external spaces, there was so much about how I was supposed to act and all these rules and all this dogma, within our own home, there was actually a lot of magic happening. Within our own home, the women in my family were allowing this intuition to take hold and to take place. We were really diving into our intuition. We had altars. We were talking about spirits. We were talking about having feelings about things happening and having dreams when things happened. And it was almost like there were these two worlds. We would go to the beach a lot and sit together, the women in our family, and watch the sunrise. And there was almost like these two different worlds that I was experiencing, where on the outside, I was being told that this is who you have to be. This is how you have to act in front of other people. This is the societal expectation. But on the inside and in our private spaces, the women in our family were actually allowing for our inner brujas to live, for our intuition, our divinity, and our reclamation. But it happened in this way that we almost knew that we would be judged for it if we lived it outside of our spaces. And so I just want to take a second to read some of your comments. Like, yes, we all felt the same, so suspicious. I used to get yelled at by my mom for singing along with a Catholic priest at Mass. Holy moly. Melissa said the adoration to the Virgin Mary, but she was acting as an in-between when she really was the center of everything. And then Gabby says, Alona says that there was a baby Jesus nature next to Ganesha and Buddha in her home, a mix of worlds and spirits. Having restrictions to make me feel ashamed. Absolutely. The egg limpia while praying to the Lord's Prayer. And one of the things that I always really, really felt like, especially was just really never sat well with me, was this dichotomy that didn't seem to exist for men, right? This idea that you were either a good girl or you were a whore, right? Like these different, that those are the only two ways that women can be. And yet men could be men, and that like had all kinds of different manifestations and experiences, and your sexuality wasn't used to hurt you and to judge you and to shame you when you were a man. But yes, for women, absolutely, like that is how it was lived. Deirdre saying, not until my mom got divorced and the Catholic Church didn't recognize her any longer to walk away from the church. And yes, Melissa, calladita te ves más bonita, which is something like, if you're quiet, you're prettier. Heard for years. And it's like it's such, we've known that it is bullshit. We've known that it is bullshit, and it is so important that we say these things out loud, and we find spaces to say these things out loud, because I'm grateful that we're living in a time where more and more we are able to live our truth fully and completely. We are able to live our truth for ourselves and claim our intuition, use whatever words we want to use, and claim our wholeness, and let go, not only let go of the way that we have been taught that we need to believe and act and think, but also have the blessing to be raising a generation, the next generation, differently. Not as tied to these old norms of who we're supposed to be and how we're supposed to act, but allowing our wholeness to take shape. And so I realized that there was something really particular happening in this dynamic. And it was that the moment that I started my own reclamation, the reclamation was about, I am no longer looking to the outside space to give me permission for me to be who I am. And I'm going to say that again because it is worth saying again. I am no longer looking externally to get permission for me to be myself. And so much about what being a bruja means taking ownership over my own life. Taking ownership. There's a really incredible speech by Tracy Ellis Ross that she gave once, where she uses that phrase. She says, I own my life. And she talks about it in the context of being a woman in her late 40s who is unmarried and never had any children, but is thrilled and happy and joyful and having a rich and beautiful life, and recognizing and acknowledging that she gets to own her life. She gets to give herself her permission. So I own my life is a big part of how you show up as a bruja for yourself. And so in this permission slip that I gave to myself, these are the things that I gave myself permission to do. And I want to be clear that these are things I have to continually give myself permission to do, because I still sometimes struggle with some of them. But this is certainly, I've come a long way with them, and I continue to move deeper into them. So number one is to prioritize my authenticity over others' discomfort. And I have to give a shout out to your own dear leader, Ms. Jamie Nolan. She has been integral in helping me step into that in my life. Prioritizing my authenticity over others' discomfort. That's a really, really big one, especially for those of us who were taught to believe that we had to be good, nice girls and we shouldn't upset anybody else. And if you are going to upset somebody else, then you should like screw yourself over before you do that. No more. Prioritize my authenticity over others' discomfort. Number two is to befriend my shadow and my fears and stop hiding parts of myself. So this is huge. I lived so much of my life being afraid of this part of me that was actually the most powerful part of me. Look at how often you use the word power in describing the word bruja. And this power is threatening. This power is threatening to the patriarchy, to the world that we live, and to the way that that world is organized. And we get to reclaim it. And we start within ourselves. So those parts of you that you're afraid are going to come out, let them out, befriend them. Number three is to set boundaries. So as women, we are also taught that we have to give, and then give some more. And usually by the time we get to us, we're exhausted and another day begins, and then we do the same thing over again. And it's time for us to set the boundaries that we need so that we can take care of ourselves and love ourselves and nourish ourselves. Number four is to center pleasure and joy. And recognize that in centering pleasure and joy, we are literally making the world a better place. When women center our own pleasure and joy, we are better people. We are showing up more fully for ourselves and for everybody around us. And finally, to trust my intuition no matter what. To trust my intuition no matter what. I would say to trust my intuition, especially when I don't understand what's going on and it freaks me out. Then that's when we need to access trust the most. And so, my dear brujas, I have a very powerful question for you. I would like to know, actually, I'm going to start here. I would like to know, what do you want to give yourself permission for? As you are showing up as all of you, with the power and the vibration and the space that we have created right here in these short minutes, what are you giving yourself permission for today? What are you giving yourself permission for? Go ahead and type it in the chat. You are now the owner of your life. To be compassionate to yourself. Yes, Deirdre. To honoring you first. Get it, Sandy. Yes. To release myself of my mistakes and move forward. Yes, Lindsay. I love that. That's beautiful. Letting go of that guilt of those mistakes and moving forward. Drop it. Like, drop that weight on the floor. Kim says to prioritize myself in life and in business. Yes. Giving myself permission to honor and love myself. These are beautiful things to give yourself permission to. And I would really urge you, after you've written them on the chat, go ahead and get a Post-it. You know, I'm the queen of Post-its and I always recommend Post-its, but go ahead and write them in a Post-it and see it somewhere where you remember it every day. To trust myself and my choices. Yes, Michelle. Beautiful. You are a grown-ass woman. You get to give yourself permission for how you want to live a life of abundance. Yes. I love it. Because this is what happens when you live a life where you give yourself permission to be yourself, to step into a new timeline. Ooh, Melissa, I love that. When I allowed myself the freedom to give myself permission to be all of me, I live a life that is free, brave, bold, powerful, and connected. It is a life that allows me to show up exactly as I am with no reservations and no apologies. To be a boss bitch, get it, Yuri. To say no without any reasons or regrets. Absolutely. Absolutely. And so as we carry these permission slips with ourselves, I wanted to take the last few minutes of today to have a conversation about what this all means for your business, right? How you can weave that part of you into your business. Because I will tell you, I work with women entrepreneurs every single day of my life, and I see in their eyes a fire and a drive, and I see their power. I see that inner bruja, and they seem to keep it locked on the right hand side. They know they have intuitive wisdom, but then you put the topic of business in their face and they're like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. They forget. They forget that they are brujas. They forget that they are powerful. So raise your hand or give me a yes if you know that you have forgotten your power in the context of how to run your business, because I will be the first one to admit it, that I absolutely have myself. It's almost like I segmented this part of me into this little box over here. This is where I have my magic, but all of these spreadsheets and business world and all of this world that I don't know about, and I don't understand business strategy, and money scares me, and I'm bad at sales. And does any of those sound familiar? Yes. Yes, exactly. And so how do we reclaim our intuitive wisdom, our bruja, in the context of these businesses that we're creating, these businesses that are heart-centered, that are actually born straight out of our intuition? And we forget that. We forget that our intuitive wisdom is the one that had us start these businesses in the first place. And so that we get to remember that we can live in this middle, that we can live in this space where we invite our bruja and our power every single day that we are running our businesses, so that we can reclaim our confidence, our trust in ourselves, that we can set those boundaries, that we can give ourselves permission slips for whatever we need, even when the intuition then leads us to be like, and this is the community that's going to support you through it. And these are the people that are going to help you. And these are the people that are going to support you and teach you what you need to know next, right? This is possible for you. You can very intentionally invite your bruja into your business every single day and live a life that starts with setting that intention and watching it happen. And so I have one strategy that I want to share with you today that is one of the most powerful things I do every single morning to invite my bruja into my business. And it is having a business altar. So go ahead and type in a yes if you already have an altar in your home, or maybe type want if you want one. If you don't have one, let me know. Yes, awesome. So not a business altar. Okay, yes. So guess what? You can create a business altar. An altar is a sacred space where you convene with your sacredness, with your divinity, with your deities, with whoever, whatever sacred elements, whatever desires you have, where you convene with your divinity within yourself in a physical manifestation, in a space that you get to keep alive, that you keep exchanging energy with, that you get to keep bringing fresh water into plants and flowers and fruits and offerings, to anything that is, and that you know that is sacred to you. And so having a business altar in your home is a fantastic way. Oh, group says they have Kuan Yi, Citron, Lakshmi, gold money on their altars. 100%. Yes. And these are all things that you can find in all of these different like crystal stores. Yes, me too. Yes, Daniela. But you can get creative. But I want you to know that this can be as personal as you need it to be. Like, really think about, Veronica, if you don't know what to put in there, start with like, what is sacred to you? Is it a picture of somebody that you love? Is it some flowers? Is it a candle? start with things that are sacred and meaningful to you. I would say something really important that you get to put in a business altar is very specifically things that are related to abundance. It's things that are related to the desires that you want to create. And so this next slide, if you want to take a quick screenshot of it, definitely can. And this will give you some ideas of some things to consider and sort of like reflect in manifestations and in physical representations of what these things can mean in your altar. This is a place where you want to acknowledge yourself. This is a place where you're going to want to write down or like have like a little, your vision board could live as part of your altar, your desires and your vision. This is a place to sit when you're clearing and doing shadow work. This is a place to add sacred elements, reflections of abundance. The amethyst crystal is also a reflection of abundance. The color purple is a reflection of abundance. Any kind of candles, mirrors, crystals, fresh plants are all energy activators that you can have in your altar. And a reminder to keep it alive, that this is a space that you get to keep coming back to every single morning, connecting with your inner bruja, inviting her to be in your business, to show you the right way, and a reminder that you are not alone. And so I will just close by saying thank you for being here with me, for engaging in this space. I'm so excited that you all, let me actually stop sharing. I'm so excited that I was able to share in this space with everybody. And it was such a great, look at what we did in 20 minutes. Y'all, this is incredible. Brujita, did you think we would be here? I love it, Daddy. Thank you guys so much.
I can't believe how much you covered in 20 minutes. That is crazy.
Well, time bending is another bruja skill, so that's what we do here.
For sure. I'm trying to get it so that I'm having technical difficulties on this end. But yeah, this was, oh my gosh, it was just such an honor and a privilege really to kind of go back and think about that journey from the beginning and how much like those little things were infused. In fact, doing those steps with you was the first time I think that I gave myself permission to bring my bruja to work.
Get it.
And we created so much magic during those times. I remember how different the energy, the creative energy was when we sat down and we with intention.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I hope that you know, Queen, that like you left an imprint in my heart forever. Like I love you so much. And I'm so glad.
From the jump. You know that.
Danny was one of the first brujas in my life, and I will forever be grateful.
I love you so much. This was so great. A lot of people had a bunch of questions. You addressed them for the most part. Again, if you want to connect with Gaby, can we get her handles back in the chat really quick before we head out? It's at the Gaby Guzman, or visit gabyguzman.com. And we're going to be moving with Mariana Lopez to continue on this journey. I mean, I love how throughout the day we've been bridging all the different ways that people don't think of being able to be abundant and to have money, to be able to receive money as something that's part of your divine feminine energy. Or even a business altar, like you said, and how we're bridging all these things together. So it's going to be really cool to go and have that conversation next. Thank you so much, Gaby. You are amazing. I'm so happy.
I love you all.
With you. Love you. See you soon.
Bye.